Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to the Miss Sayé Show. Today on the Miss Sayé Show, I have the lovely Jennifer Lieberman. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you, Saye. I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, so happy to see you. You're zooming in from Canada, correct?
Yes, that's right. I'm just north of Toronto in a town called Maple, which is where I grew up.
Lovely, lovely. Well, Jennifer, she is a dear friend. She's fabulous artist. She likes to create. She doesn't sit still. And from the time I met you in Los Angeles, if it's not this, it's not that. If you're not producing plays, you're directing a film. If you're not directing a film, you're acting in a film. If you're not acting in a film, you're writing a book. And you always, doing something and creating. And I love that about you. And today I want to talk about your book. A year of what? Can you please tell us about it?
Yes, I would love to tell you about the book, and thank you for that beautiful intro.
It's true.
It's funny how a lot of times we don't acknowledge our accomplishments, but our friends are a great reflection of it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you take it really hard on yourself too. So yeah, you need
Well,
that
so do you.
reminder.
So do you. We both push ourselves very, very hard. So Year of the What is a novel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coming of age comedy. It's considered to be chick lit, like literature for chicks. It borders on romance, romantic comedy, and it does get a little racy at times. So it borders erotic fiction. I like to describe it as a mix between Sex and the City and 50 Shades of Grey, because it's about a bunch of dating misadventures in New York City, but it also gets into some really steamy love scenes the way 50 Shades of Grey did.
Incredible.
So
So it's
yeah,
not poetry? Is there poetry part of it?
So there are 3 of my poems in the
Yes.
book. It's so
Yes.
interesting that you ask about poetry because, as you know, the book was originally a one-woman show
Right.
called Year of the Slut.
Yes.
And when I met you when I first moved to LA, and a woman that I came across, her husband owned an agency, and she suggested I write myself a one-woman show
Right.
in order to invite industry in LA to kind of let people know that I'm here.
Right.
Hire me. So out of all the ideas, I pitched her several different ideas, and I just kind of came up with the title Year of the Slut because it was kind of catchy and racy, and Sex and the City was so popular. So I write erotic poetry, and I basically took 5 of my poems and I built the story around 5 of the poems.
In that
And
book.
it was about this young, naive girl's kind of sexual awakening after her first breakup.
Okay. So that's what it is about. Wonderful. So I am very excited to read that because I have a copy of Year of the Bleep, but I don't have that one. Where can we get it? Where is it available?
So it's actually the exact same book. So what happened was I was not able to get any of my ads approved. So yes, Year of the Slut. Slut is actually not a bad word. It's not a forbidden word. It's derogatory, but it's not one of the forbidden words of broadcast. So it's a derogatory term that's used as a weapon against women. I specifically chose that word because I wanted to deconstruct it. Because what does that word mean? Why is it derogatory? Why do we use it as a weapon?
Mm-hmm.
And it was very intentional when I chose the title. However, on social media, on Amazon, none of my ads were approved because the title was considered too offensive. The title was a huge hit, getting people in the audience in the play in New York.
Right.
I won the Audience Choice Award in New York for the play, and I
Bravo.
believe you. I believe it was 1000% due to the fact that I had such a provocative title that people were intrigued and they wanted to buy tickets and they wanted to come. And I wasn't censored. I was able to be listed in Time Out New York and the Village Voice. In New York City, we were not censored trying to get the word out for this play. However, fast forward a few years later, once I had the book launch in 2018, we couldn't get any ads through on Facebook, Instagram,
Wow.
Amazon, because it was just considered highly offensive, and their community standards want everyone to have an enjoyable experience. So regardless of the fact that it's a female empowerment piece, regardless of the fact that it's actually sex positive and it's supposed to be something that makes women feel good about themselves, we just couldn't get it out of, we couldn't get the word out in any way, shape, or form. So a friend of mine a year ago suggested changing the title. I was very reluctant. I didn't want to.
Right.
And after months of deliberating, I decided, well, if changing the title will give this story a chance to get out into the world, then it would be in my best interest to take that risk.
Sure.
So, you know, I want the book to get out there more than I'm married to the title at this point in time.
That's a good idea. Sometimes, like when you make a film, you're like, do you want to get your film be seen, or you want to keep holding on to it till the film get old, but you want to sell it to the right buyer? So sometimes you have to settle for the things that you absolutely don't want to, but you want it to get out there. You want it to reach its audience. So congratulations on that, and congratulations on Audience Choice Award in New York for your one-woman show. One-woman show is a tough thing to do. That's how you get the chance to showcase yourself and a character arc. And how long were you on stage as a one person?
So originally, when I did the show in LA, the play was an hour and 20 minutes long.
Gosh, yes.
Yes. And it's funny because where we met in an acting class. Our teacher, Michelle, used to always say, work on long pieces, do a 10-minute monologue, do something long, because it's like when you do athletics, you're an athlete,
right?
You know what it's like when you're training. You always want to push yourself beyond your limit to see what you can achieve.
Sure.
So I felt like I was training for the Olympics. I had a very kind of strict workout schedule, because being on stage by yourself, you need the vocal stamina to talk for an hour and a half straight while you're moving, while you're running around.
Right.
And so I had to get my voice in shape. I had to get my body physically in shape. And it was the hardest thing I had ever had to do as a performer at that point in time.
Great experience, and I would say great exercise to build everything. And I'm sure that Hollywood was very appreciative of all the hard work that you put in.
Well, it's funny. Hollywood, not so much. I felt like the movie La La Land. Remember, Emma Stone does the one-woman show, and only a couple.
Oh my goodness. What a great movie. I love her audition scene. I so relate to that it's kind of our experience when we go to the casting offices.
Yes, it's so funny. So, as life happens, you don't always have the success the way you think it's going to happen.
Right.
I did the show as a showcase in LA, hoping industry would come, hoping I would find an agent. None of the people that I hoped would come came, but then the life of the show continued when it got into a festival in New York. And then I had a success in New York that was completely unprecedented. I never thought in a million years I would win an award. I just kind of went because I was like, well, I put all this effort into creating this piece.
Right.
If somebody else is going to let me do it, I might as well. But I never ever dreamed that I would have the reaction in New York that I did.
Unexpected. It's more joyful when it's unexpected. Was it an easy piece to travel with, or did you need a lot of stage pieces? I don't know how I missed it because I didn't watch it. I didn't come see you.
Well,
So I
you
lived
might have
on.
been out of town. You were traveling
I
quite a
was
bit.
traveling a lot. Yes, I was living on the plane. But was it an easy show to travel with? The pieces that you need?
Yes, this
Great.
one was an extremely easy show to travel with. Everything that I needed were pieces that you would find in a theater anyways. A couple of chairs, a couple of
Okay,
boxes,
great. So you didn't need to build a
and a
set.
table. Nope. And in terms of costume pieces, I wore a black leotard, a one-piece leotard,
The whole
and I would,
time?
throw a t-shirt on here or throw
Okay.
something on there. But it was basically
Change.
done through physicality and through voice, and that's how I changed. I played 10 different
Oh, I
characters.
love it. I love how you do different voices. When I'm not working on a Hollywood set or traveling around the globe, Abingdon, Virginia is my home. It's become my favorite place to spend time with family, my furry friends, and taking in nature's beauty through hiking or doing yoga outdoors. That's why I trust the doctors and staff at Abingdon ENT and Allergy. From allergies to audiology and general ENT services, they are dedicated to keeping our community healthy. Don't let things like allergies hold you back from living your fullest life. Call Abingdon ENT and Allergy today. Will it be too much if I ask you to give us some example of a few things? Like I really like that annoying French voice you read with me when we were doing an audition recently. The bougie French woman. You're very talented when it comes to that, imitating
Oh,
voice and accent extremely. So if you feel comfortable, give us a bit piece of that. Uh, I
um, yeah, definitely.
What's the
So,
name of that character? Like, hi, what is your name?
yes. Well, Kelly was the protagonist's roommate. She was a very promiscuous, open woman from Texas, and she had a full scholarship to NYU when the protagonist in the book, the lead character's name is Dana. So
Uh-huh.
Dana's roommate is Kelly from Texas. Kelly had a full ride to NYU. She's a genius, but she dropped out to become a dominatrix because she
Oh,
makes lore money in that dungeon in Texas.
oh,
What is
does she?
the point of going to school? If these guys are stupid enough to give their money away, I sure as hell am smart enough to take it.
Bravo, bravo. Who are the other character? Which other character is your favorite one?
Um, oh, there were so many. There was Tony from Brooklyn, who was the first guy she was with after her big breakup. You
Tony
know,
from Brooklyn, Italian. Italian.
Tony, the Italian guy from Brooklyn. Uh,
That's lovely. Remember what you and I did a little piece together that you were baby dance.
the baby dance, yeah.
And you did a accent on that as well. I remember you changed your dialect. Do you remember that one?
I think that one was Southern, not as
Southern.
it wasn't quite Texan. Kelly was Texan. I think it was more a lighter Southern accent, more like this. She was a more naive, fragile character.
But she was smarty pants. She was trying to get more money out of my character.
Well, exactly. She had to play naive, you know.
Yes. Oh, that those are my
She would
favorite.
have been
Those
able to trick you.
helpless, manipulators. That was awesome. So I would like to talk about you. Also, your movie was picked for Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
Yes, that is incredible. I remember just being chosen for your film to be shown at Cannes Festival. That is a huge accomplishment. So congratulations to you.
Thank
And you
you.
directed that film, right?
Yes. So I directed a short experimental film called Details. I originally wrote it as a stage piece between a man and a woman. And I actually worked on it in that acting class that we met in as a lesbian piece. There was another actress in the class and we wanted to do something together. And I thought, well, why don't we do this piece that I wrote? And it worked as a straight piece, it worked as a lesbian piece. And when I decided to film it, I really couldn't decide if I wanted to tell the story from the point of view of a man and woman, from the point of view of two women. I was also thinking, well, maybe two men could do this. Relationships are kind of universal. It doesn't really matter if you're a straight couple, a gay couple. We all go through the same hardships, heartbreak, challenges when we're in love. So for this piece, I couldn't decide what to do, and I had this crazy idea. So I called a few actors that I had already worked with, and I asked them if they would be willing to do an experiment with me. I didn't even call it a film.
But I would like to jump on the next subject. I know you also, throughout the pandemic, of course, you don't sit still, so you had to do something else. And what you did was you made a course about how to look good or how to look proper on video camera for meeting, because all of us are using the Zoom or video call for. So can you please give us 3 tips for our audience who are watching right now? 3 tips, very simple, to just make yourself pop or make you look better than what you normally would.
Definitely. The first one is raise your laptop so your camera is at eye level. A lot of people are leaving their laptop flat on their desk and it's angled up towards the ceiling. And it's not a great angle.
Like that?
So number 1 is, whether it's your phone or your tablet or your laptop,
Eye level.
raise it so the camera is at eye level. That's number 1. Yes, because the eyes are key to communication, and clear communication is number 1, especially if it's a business meeting. When you're talking with family or friends, it's not as important to present yourself in a polished, professional way. But most of us are using this as a business tool.
Yes.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is lighting. You want to have good lighting.
Yes.
I always suggest to buy a ring light because they're inexpensive and they do the trick. Yes. You don't have to have a 3-point lighting setup, but I do explain that in the book as well. That would be more for somebody who can keep the lights up all the time and has multiple calls a day. Sure. But if you have once or twice a week a check-in with your team, a ring light is fabulous. You can find one with a stand for under $50 on Amazon.
Awesome.
That's
What's
the way
next?
to go.
And we're running out of time. I want to get all the points in.
Yes. 3rd tip, put your pants on. A lot. Speaking of which, I have to say, your outfit is absolutely fabulous.
You think so? I wore this for you.
The color pops. It's so incredible. I love it.
I use this for baking, so I can use this as mitten. I don't. But this is an awesome yoga set from the Miss Sayé show. And
I love it.
And these are our give back products. So this yoga set, which is really warm and stretchy, with the purchase that people purchase, we give back to charity Sayé.org, which is helping globally. You can read more on our website on the different missions that we have. I think you would look great in this.
I think so too. It's definitely my color. I'm going to have to get one as soon as we're finished.
I think so. Yes, I think you would look great in it. And it's high rise and it has a little logo here and has a little ladybug on your butt.
I love it.
So
put your pants on. That was what I was saying. A lot of people they're putting on their shirt, they're making themselves look polished from the waist up, but they're not wearing pants, they're not wearing shoes. As a performer, you know that our wardrobe is very important in getting us in a certain mindset. You might be able to trick the people on the other side of the camera. You'll never be able to trick yourself.
Right.
And how we feel is 60, 70, 80% of how we're going to perform at our meeting. So if we're cutting corners in certain ways, like not getting dressed properly, I also suggest to have your shoes on too, your proper shoes, not sneakers and not sweatpants.
Whatever goes with that outfit, full outfit.
Full outfit, because it's going to make you sit differently. It's going to make you present yourself differently, and it's going to make you feel different. You're going to feel like you're ready to conquer this meeting.
So important. Like one thing I can share that goes hand in hand with you. Before Zoom call, we used to do meetings over the phone. And when I had a meeting, I would be in full attire.
Yes.
I wouldn't be in my pajama. I would have my heels on. I would have my makeup on, whatever I was going to, as if I was going to do that meeting in person. So yeah, it builds your personality and gives you the feeling of readiness. So you're like, okay, this is me. So thank you for sharing that. Jennifer, I know you're successful, and I know everyone who's successful, they have lots of setback along the way. Would you feel comfortable to share some of your setback with us and what you have learned, or maybe you're still in process of learning? But if you can share one or two, so I like having a heart-to-heart with my guests.
Yes, definitely. Well, I was really struggling getting a foot in the door in the acting industry. So this ties right back to my book and my one-woman show. Taking matters into my own hands was the best thing that I ever did. Deciding to write and perform and produce my own one-woman show changed my life in so many ways.
Bravo.
Not only did it change my life because I got recognition that I so much wanted as a professional actor. I had been in the game for over 10 years at that point and felt like I was just, treading water, staying in the same place. So the fact that I got recognition in New York City was amazing, and it gave me the confidence to continue writing and to continue producing.
So what you're suggesting that because of that, you took matters in your own hands. So instead of waiting for someone else to say, I hire you, you hired yourself by creating this project around yourself.
Exactly. And I've been able to give other opportunities for other actors. And it actually led me to starting my company called Make Your Own Break. And my tagline is stop waiting, start creating, and make your own break. Because we all have that power within ourselves. Of course, everything takes a village. Everything in this world takes a village, especially in the entertainment business.
Sure.
Bring your friends along.
Sure.
There's so many talented writers, talented directors, it doesn't matter what field you're in, you're going to find talented people to collaborate with.
Yes.
And if you have passion and energy behind something, that's going to attract people who want to be part of something. Everybody wants to be part of something that they believe in.
Yes. And you find your people through that. And one advice I would have along line of people who are starting out in the industry, maybe younger generation who's watching this, the amount that you're paid, it doesn't equal the amount of professionalism you're going to put in. You always put your 100% professionalism. You come as if you're gonna get $1 million, or if you're doing a SAG low budget deferred pay project. Your professionalism is your image, it's your reputation. We have to give it all, and the more we collaborate, we expand our network, because we are just as strong as network is. That's how strong we are. So I love that. Thank you so much for that tip. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I know I can talk with you for hours, but it's good to have you on the show. We look forward to your book, and I really hope that you do the audio version of that, because
I actually have done the audio version.
Oh yes, where can we get it?
So it takes a few weeks for Audible to sync up to Amazon. So in about a month that will be available. And
congratulations to you. I am a big fan, and I will definitely listen to your book, because listening for me is the strongest way of doing it. And Year of What by Jennifer Lieberman, one of my favorite artists. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and have a great day. Thank you all.
Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, Miss Saye here. And if you are enjoying our content on the Miss Saye Show, please be sure to follow, share, and subscribe. See you every Saturday on the Miss Saye Show.